jumping into how I edit my pictures for Instagram, I use my iPhone 8 Plus at the moment to take my pictures as well as edit my pictures. Before I upgraded my phone to the 8 Plus, I was using my 6 Plus to take my pictures and edit them. I feel like it was a lot easier to take my pictures and edit on my 6 Plus than it is on my 8 Plus, because the camera is so clear. It's incredibly clear, so every single pore, like every single pore on my face shows in my pictures, which is really annoying, really irritating, and sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes it's quite irritating of how clear the camera is. Of that, in my opinion, this camera is amazing. Like, it picks up every single detail, every bits and bobs, literally everything. But yeah, moving on to how I take my pictures first. I'll show you guys how I take my pictures and show you how I edit them. I take my pictures on camera. I feel like some people forget that they have a camera app on their phone because we're so used to Snapchat. But I go onto camera. I'm gonna put the screen. I'm gonna put my phone somewhere here for you guys so you guys can see. Everything that I'm doing, and my notifications are going to be popping up on my phone, by the way, and I apologize for that. I go onto camera. I haven't taken any pictures for this look just yet, so I'm going to go ahead and take pictures and show you guys everything, like right here on the screen. So this is basically what I do. I turn down the brightness while I'm taking my pictures. That's what gives my pictures the darker effect, because I believe iPhone cameras, regardless of how good they are, especially using the 8 as well, I've noticed that they make you look quite washed out. Like, I don't look like this on my phone when I take pictures. As saturated as this is, it doesn't come out like that on my phone. On my phone, it's more of on the grayer side. I'll show you guys what that looks like right here, side to side, what I look like. So this is, oh, hello. This is what the look looks like on my phone. I sometimes prefer my phone in terms of taking pictures and videos and editing and stuff, because I feel like there's certain details that my phone picks up that my camera doesn't, and at the same time I don't like it because of the ashiness that it gives me my focus to be. Tap on my face and just put down that brightness, and I'm gonna pose. And sometimes I turn down the brightness and go closer to the light, because it then doesn't make it too dark, and if that makes sense. I don't know, that's what I do anyway. So okay, I think I found a few decent pictures here, so I will go ahead to Facetune. So I've got basically these are the only two apps I use in terms of editing my pictures. Facetune is always the first place I go. Okay, a little bit of how do I explain this, personal thing. I don't know how to say it, but I don't know if you guys notice, like it's quite a bit of an insecurity for me. My chin is a bit wonky. My chin is a bit wonky, so it shows through in pictures. So what I like to do is I flip the pictures. So when I'll show you guys what that looks like. So when I'm here, I go to crop and flip the picture, so it takes away that obviousness of the wonkiness. I basically got in a fight with a guy and he fucked me up. So ever since then, I never raise my hand to slap or hit a guy in my life. So I know my place, and I just sit down quietly and gingerly. I respect myself. Anyways, back to what I do is go to Retouch, and this is Facetune 2. This is not Facetune that you pay for. I don't believe that you need to pay for the app to get, because everything I need is on here. I actually did pay for the Facetune, the original Facetune on my Samsung when because they didn't have the Facetune 2 on my Samsung. So when my phone was broken for a while, which is my business phone, when my actual phone was broken for a while and I was using my business phone in the meantime, I downloaded the Facetune 2, the actual Facetune, sorry, the one you paid. I believe I paid, I think £6 or so for it on my Samsung. I can't believe how much I paid. I can't remember how much I paid exactly, but I know I paid for it on my Samsung, and it just wasn't the same. I absolutely hated it. You can't turn down the smoothness. There's certain things I just can't do, and it's just irritating. But anyways, don't know if this thing is still recording. Nope, it's not. So yeah, okay. The first thing I do is I smoothen out everything, so you guys can see this is not a bad picture. It's nothing's out of place here. Nothing, I don't need to do any dramatic editing to this picture, which is why I like to take my pictures freshly when I've finished doing my makeup, because you don't want to wait 4 or 5 hours before you take your pictures, because your makeup does move. Okay, makeup doesn't look exactly the same as when you first finish, so you want to, as soon as you finish it, take your pictures, because there's nothing better than a fresh beat face in pictures, because then you don't have much work to do. Fixed. But yeah, I will zoom in and just smoothen all of this out. As you guys can see, this is what I was saying about the pores, the clarity of this phone. Every single like detail shows through, and obviously that's not what I'm trying to focus on. We're focusing on the eyes and the lips, really realistically speaking. So everything else, we basically just want to blur out the pores, so that the subject is the makeup and not my pores and stuff. I need to do my eyebrows, as you guys can see. So yeah, I just smoothen out all of this, and we have something like this. So before and after, what I like to do, sometimes I get a bit carried away, so what I like to do is I check and see what the difference looks like, and if I feel like it looks a bit too you could turn down the smoothness a bit. Or I sometimes, especially around your nose, you don't want to look plastic, I erase these little like details. So I just like to go back in and erase any bit that I feel like I've over smoothened, if that's a word. But yeah, so now that's done. Yeah, so go back to Retouch. I like just to emphasize on the gloss on my lips, I go to whiten, and I just whiten all of this just to make it look, just to make it pop a bit more. And you want to be careful with this as well, because it can make your lipstick go from the actual color to looking grey. Yeah, so yeah, that's fine. Now I go to Vibrance, and just the eyes. Again, you lose quality when taking pictures on iPhone, so you just want to bring back all that saturation in the look. And sometimes I do take a mirror and I look at my face in the mirror, and I use that to edit my pictures, if that makes sense. So I just replicate what I see in the mirror. So rather than just going with my own idea of what it should look like, I try my best to make it look like what I can see in the mirror. So yeah, I'm gonna turn down that brightness a bit, because it's making it look on the pink side. I mean the Vibrance, I'm turning it. And I like to leave my highlighted areas. I don't really smoothen that out, because I find that when you do smoothen it out, it makes it look less highlighted. And yeah, so for now I'll probably leave this like so. Not forgetting my hair as well. Just take that down. Yeah, so just gonna leave that like so, and save the picture and go onto Lightroom. This is an amazing app because it gives your picture more of a professional feel, and because I'm not taking my pictures in natural daylight, I am using artificial light. The color balance in the picture can be tampered with, because obviously I'm not taking the picture in natural daylight. If that makes sense, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what I mean, just making sure that it's still recording. In this, you can tell, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I can tell because I don't know, I can see it. This picture looks really green. It looks on the green side and on the warm side. So the first thing I do is go to color and reduce the temperature a bit, just to take it away from that warm side, and I tint it up a bit, take it away from the green side. So we can see before and after, it looks more like it looks more skin like, rather than, you know, the green-ish color. I don't know what these terms are, but these are just things I see. Maybe I should actually research what the actual terms are in photography land, so I can be able to tell you guys better. But yeah, this is before and after. So I go back into color. That's not all I do in Lightroom. And I really like Lightroom because you can pay for it, but this app is also free. This is not an ad. This app is also free. I go to Vibrance and I bump that up a bit. And the reason why I like Vibrance on this compared to Facetune is because the Vibrance on Facetune is a lot more on the warm side, and this Vibrance, it's more on the saturated side. So when you bump up the Vibrance on Lightroom, it looks more vibrant. When you bump up the Vibrance on Facetune, it looks more warm and intense, if you get what I mean. It doesn't look, I don't know, it's two completely different things. As well as Instagram's saturation, when you bump that up a bit, it looks different from Lightroom and Facetune. So they all have their different perks, and they all like do different things but have the same name, if that makes sense. So yeah, you just have to work with which works for you best, really. So I feel like this is a bit too vibrant, so I'm gonna bump that down. Yeah, I feel like I'm happy with this. So you can see what this looks like before, and this is what it looks like now. So you can see how big of a help Lightroom is. It helps you with the lighting, the color, and all of that good stuff. I love this app. So go to the light now. What I like to do is highlight. I like to tone it down because it gives my skin more of a realistic feel in my pictures. It doesn't make, because I have so many lights on me, it tends to take away from that skin textured type feel. So bumping down the highlight really helps me bring back that skin like effect. As you can see, if I bump this up, it just, I feel like it, I don't like the way it looks, so I'm gonna take that down. Maybe not all the way down, but yeah, somewhere there should be fine. And I didn't really go over the top of my highlight today, that's why it's not looking popping as usual, but that's fine. Most of the time you play around with what you feel looks good. That's the trick to editing. You don't just do the same thing for every single picture. All pictures require different editing skills. Like, you can't use the same thing that you use for picture B, especially when picture A has a different lighting to picture B. So you want to use different techniques and different settings on different pictures. So so this is basically not what I do all the time in terms of all my pictures, but most of the time this is what I do when I'm taking, especially when I'm taking my pictures in natural light. When I'm taking my pictures in natural daylight, it's a lot easier to edit because it's more natural, if that makes sense. Because I'm using artificial light, I have to make my pictures look more natural. Don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, I feel like I'm talking too much and my throat is getting dry. But yeah, exposure, if you want it to look brighter, if you want it to look darker. So if you want something like this is a really cute edit, but nah, just gonna leave that like so. I might bump down the exposure a little bit. Yeah, okay, so details, this is the last thing. This is basically the last thing I do. I sharpen the picture and I reduce the noise. That's all I touch. I don't touch anything else on here. Excuse me. I don't really touch anything else on here. I reduce the noise, which says noise reduction right here, and I bump up the sharpness of the picture. And before, after, you can see what a huge difference that makes. So what I do now is, yes, and the good thing about Lightroom is you can copy the settings on this picture. So you do, obviously if you can't remember every single thing you've done and you want to do it for a different picture, you can copy the settings, say okay, and I can apply the settings to a different picture. So I'm just gonna save this to camera roll maximum available, and I go onto Instagram. That's not where we're going. We're going to That Girl Demi. What I like to do is I edit my pictures and leave it there for when I'm ready to upload them. So most of the time I never use this normal square. Nah, I always make my pictures look bigger. I go to edit on Instagram as well. If I don't really do much editing on Instagram anymore now that I have Lightroom. Before, when I only used to use Facetune, I always had to use Instagram edits because to help with what Lightroom does now. Because Lightroom does it better, I don't really use Instagram edits anymore. And if I was to do anything, the highlight effect on Instagram is different from the one on Lightroom. So I like the way Instagram makes my I like the way turning down the highlight on Instagram makes my skin look. So if I was to do anything, that's probably all I would do. And yeah, this LUX thing as well is a really good feature as well. It just kind of makes your face pop a bit more. So I don't really use this too often. I don't really like to use it too much, because it kind of makes your face look really, like, it makes the picture look really contrasted. And yeah, so yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this, and that's basically what it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and save draft and upload that when I'm ready. I'm just gonna show you guys what the picture looks like, the original picture. Go back to Facetune. So this is what we started from, and this is what we have now. So yeah, that's basically it for how I edit my pictures up. So I hope you guys have a lovely day. I hope you have a lovely week, and I hope you click the subscribe button, and I really do hope this helps some of you guys out there. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.